The Indian T20 League reaches a very, very interesting phase. Let's go and ask Arun to join us here at Timeout with SportsAdda.
Is it time,
Arun,
Akhil? Is it time to say business end of the tournament? Are we allowed to bring out that into our vocabulary?
absolutely, man, absolutely. Now is the time when the analysts in the team, the people who work on the stats, the numbers will be coming together, saying that this is the run rate, these are the kind of wins that we need to reach the playoffs. That's the phase that we have entered now. So
I,
before
I
before we
saw
go and
one
have,
tweet, Arun. Before I saw one tweet, Akhil. This was on
hmm,
this was last night, I think. Uh, there are people who still believe Chennai can make the playoffs, and they've actually figured out how the results need to go their way. And there
yeah.
was a
So
tweet following that last night's tweet celebrating that Delhi beats Sunrisers Hyderabad. So it's going according to Chennai's plan. So yeah, calculators are out. Fans are looking at results. Chennai are still alive.
yeah, that's the question that I wanted to start our episode today is technically out of the 10 teams now, only one is completely out of chance to qualify for the playoffs. So that's in a position, and nobody is going to write off Chennai for that matter, Arun. The kind of comebacks that we've seen in cricket, and especially from Chennai in the past, has been like so memorable that nobody wants to write them off. Uh, but the topic that again caught a lot of attention and was spoken about a lot and debated, and we are cricket fans, right? So we again have a right to debate and know about what other cricket fans who tune in want to know. There was a lot of conjecture, a lot of debate about whether third umpire should be introduced to declare or signal wides, Arun. And this came about because of certain episodes that happened in the Rajasthan versus Kolkata match, if you remember, where there was a left-hander batter. I think Nitish Rana and Rinku Singh were delivering the chase, and Prasidh Krishna was bowling, and he got signaled a lot of wides, if you remember. What do you make of this third umpire being introduced to do signal wides and being called upon to change decisions for wides being given on screen?
Not for it. Absolutely not for it, Akhil. As it is, if you look at what's happening, not just in the Indian T20 league, but in T20 cricket across the world. Now,
Yeah,
this was meant to be a crisp format. It was when it was introduced, it was a 3 hour spectacle. It was like
yeah.
movies in India. You went to a movie for 3 hours, enjoyed everything that was on show, took it up, soaked in the atmosphere, and then came back home happy. But look what's happening now. Every innings is about 100 minutes. That's an hour and 40. Add another 10-15 minutes of interval. So that's an hour and whatever, hour and 55 minutes or 2 hours. And then you've got another innings of hour and a half. So what started off as 3 hours became 3 hours and 10 minutes with the timeouts, right? And now it's becoming 4 hours a match, Akil. I mean, we don't want TV umpires to come in now and now decide on white balls, to decide on waist high full tosses, are they no balls or not. I mean, when will this end? We don't want 5 hour contests, Akil. I mean, I've sat through innings which are 3 hours. One innings in T20 cricket in the Bangladesh Premier League, which was 3 hours. One innings, Akil, not a match.
Wow.
We don't want to get to that level. We don't want T20 contests becoming 4 hours, 5 hours. No. So, third umpire has got his job, which is to ensure line calls, boundary calls, leave it at that. I'm not too happy about calling in the third umpire for waste time, no balls, and nah, not for me.
Interesting, Arun. And I mean, this is one aspect, with which we've not seen in international cricket so far. So obviously, it will be a big decision for to implement something like that. But the question also I wanted to ask, and I'd really love to know what people think, and because I've worked in an environment where there is pressure to deliver on a professional level in sport. But these kind of decisions, where maybe umpires are being questioned by players, or like even on some close calls of no balls over the waist or wide balls, which how many matches like these actually get impacted by such decisions? uh, like the players questioning, or an assistant coach running onto the field to question an umpire's decision. how what is the kind of pressure that these kind of coaches or players will be feeling from the teams, that you have to win and you have to qualify. That are leading to these kind of incidents or even these kind of debates coming. What do you make of that?
I find this a little strange, Akhil, honestly. You're professionals. I understand the professional being professional also means delivering
Delivering.
results. But that's only
Yeah.
one part of it. Being professional also means conducting yourself professionally, right? If you're a coach, if you're an assistant coach, if you're a professional cricketer, you're not expected to charge onto the field. As a professional, if I vent my anger in the commentary box, bloody well know next time I'm not entering that commentary box ever again. As a
Mm.
professional, I'm expected to behave in a certain way, deliver a certain kind of output, which is what is expected of players, coaches, umpires, everybody, right? You can't just charge into a field just because you're feeling the pressure. I mean, I know
Yeah.
it's happened in the past. I know players have stormed off the field, but that's not being professional at all. No,
Mm.
no room for such acts, Akhil. There's immense
Mm.
pressure. I understand, but there's immense pressure in life. Are you not feeling pressure of your livelihood? Am I not feeling
Mm.
pressure of my livelihood? Are we acting strange? Are we acting in a manner which is against what we've been taught from by generations? No. Similarly, you're expected to behave in a certain way no matter what the pressure, and that's where I leave it.
Hmm. I mean, I was watching that match, and I wasn't like rooting for anybody to chase it down or win the game. I was just watching it as a proper general cricket fan, not having any bias towards the team. But I was just thinking of it from the point of view of the umpire, Arun. Like, what position are we leaving him there? Where after every decision, every white ball signal, there is a question or there is a smirk on the captain's face. The bowler is coming and asking him, or I mean, where does it stop then? Like, how far can you go? How will anybody want to become an umpire anymore going ahead? They'll have to be like really high paying jobs, right? No former cricketers, very few former cricketers, in fact, are turning to this. So it's going to be a really, really tough job. And I don't know who will want to be an umpire.
Absolutely right, and going by what you just asked me a little while ago, okay, if all decisions have to go to the TV umpire, why do you need people standing there at all? You don't want somebody to
Yeah.
just stand there, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, call over and get lost. No, I mean
They can't
the
even
the,
hold hats anymore.
the beauty of the game, Akhil, this game has survived a century and a bit, right? Is umpires are an integral part of the game. They
Correct.
contribute to the game. They're there for a purpose, and I mean, people say it evens out in the end, right? You get a few good ones, you get a few bad ones. So I don't know. Also, spare a thought for what's going through the umpire's mind. You
Correct.
listen to commentators, Akhil. I'll just give you an example. You listen to commentators standing in the Wankhede Stadium. They cannot listen to what the anchor is asking them, right? This is a word of mouth,
Yeah.
and you stood 5 feet apart. You cannot hear what the anchor is asking you. Imagine an umpire stood 22 yards away, right? The thinnest of snicks that even the ultra edge does not pick up. If you remember the Mitch Marsh dismissal the other day, ultra edge did
Yes.
not pick it up. What about the umpires, Akhil? They stood 22 yards away. Absolutely no chance. Spare a thought for the umpires. I've always been for the umpires because unless you've stood in those shoes, you don't know what they're going through. So nah, you're right. I mean, umpiring in a couple of decades' time, there'll be machines standing there counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and everything else will be done by the man upstairs. Sad, but that's the future.
Interesting, and we'd love to know what people think about this. It's a very very interesting thought that a lot of debate happened also here. Okay, so Arun, I wanted to also jump to our next topic, and before I do that, I wanted to again give our fans a chance, give our listeners a chance to win a contest at Timeout with SportsAdda, like we usually do. This is not a question related to runs or wickets or highest score, etc. Arun, today. Today's question is very simple. So I'm going to ask the question. Like always, people who want to participate in the contest, just go on to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our channel, like this video, and put in your answer in the comment section. and there will be merchandise that will be coming out for the winners very soon. So the question for today, and Arun, maybe if you can give a hint, the question for today's contest is who has bowled the fastest delivery in the Indian T20 League so far in all the seasons that have happened? Who has bowled the fastest delivery? Umran Malik came very close, but it's not Umran Malik, right, Arun?
I was hoping you would mention the name. It's a googly. It's an absolute googly, Akhil. You've given the answer away. It's not Umran Malik. But interesting one. Yeah. So like, subscribe, share on social media, and give us your answer. Uh, yeah.
So,
I don't know. I mean, watching Umran Malik has been refreshing, Akhil. The only worry, like I mentioned in the last chat, Akhil, is how long can he keep going at this pace? And is he a one trick pony? He can't be fastest. We've seen that
yeah,
happen in the game against Delhi, I think it was, where he
yeah.
clocked 157, but every time he got hit for a boundary, the next delivery was quicker. He still got hit for a boundary. He can't be a one trick pony. Needs to learn, needs to develop those skills.
I always say that you have to see how the player performs in his second season because everybody has maybe one great season, but the second season is the one where you actually come and deliver. Even in whenever I've picked players in professional sports, the second season is the most important for me. We've
There are
seen how
so many
difficult it is sometimes.
There are so many examples, Akhil. Devdutt Padikal, Venkatesh Iyer now, right? Shreyas Iyer many years ago. I think Johnny Bairstow many years ago. The second season's the absolute killer, Akhil. If you can survive and come through the second season with flying colors, your career will take off.
Absolutely. So I always look out for the second season kind of performances. So hopefully Umran Malik will have many more seasons, and not just for Hyderabad, but even for the Indian team. It will be so nice to see him bowling so quick on the lively wickets against South Africa and Australia. These are like dreams from an Indian cricket fan from 90s. So you can imagine, I always want a fast bowler to go and like win India games overseas. So yeah, that's Umran Malik, Arun. Also, there's one interesting fact, and because of the big auction which happened, players have changed teams, right? This season, we are still getting used to seeing David Warner play for Delhi again, not like the first time, but the second time. There is Krunal, the Pandya brothers got separated after having played all their career for Mumbai. But is there some kind of an extra pressure or extra performance that these guys deliver when they play against their past teams? We've seen how David Warner had some kind of he was looking pumped up when he was playing and he got the 90 runs against Delhi. We've seen Krunal play boyfully with Pollard after dismissing him. We've seen, I mean, Hardik against Mumbai Indians. I'm very keen to see that. Do you think there is certain age, certain kind of needle that these players also want to perform?
No, as much as we want to believe there's a bit of needle there, there's a bit of fire there. I think all these guys are professionals. Okay, like I mentioned, being professional also means you want to deliver the results that the team wants, right? You've been signed up on the basis of what you can deliver, not because you can deliver
Correct.
against your former team alone. So it's always nice to score runs and pick wickets against your former team, especially if you've parted ways in not so pleasant ways. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. At the end of the day, they just want to keep scoring runs. They just want to keep taking wickets. Doesn't matter who they're playing against.
All right, that's great. So, like I mentioned, we are reaching the business end of the tournament now. So many things happening. The race for the third and the fourth spot, Arun. The first two are looking quite strong, right? As we speak today, the position in the points table is such that
The
Gujarat
two new
leading
teams
at
at the
the
top.
top,
Yeah.
Lucknow then following Gujarat, and then Rajasthan, which is like
Gujarat,
making an
it's
entry.
Gujarat, Lucknow, Rajasthan, and Bangalore as we speak.
So very interesting lineup, Arun. If you would have asked people at the beginning of the season, not having Mumbai and Chennai there, very odd.
I know, very odd, very uncomfortable for many cricket fans. But that's the beauty of this league. Okay, we mentioned this.
Yes.
It brings in new energy. Two new teams making the top four. Two new teams mean doing well means we've also got to see a few new players. Which is nice. Livingston's been doing well for Punjab. We've got Rajapaksa doing well for Punjab. KL Rahul's doing well for Lucknow. Hardik Pandya is doing for Gujarat.
Yeah.
Look what
Rashid
we've seen
Khan.
with Rashid Khan, David Miller, after so many years, Rahul Tewatia again. So it's nice to see new players perform and win games.
Interesting. I'm not going to ask you today, but going ahead, we are going to try and predict who are going to be the top four. Obviously, not the first two.
I'll tell you what, Akhil. I'm you know my question was who is going to be your top four. I mean, I know you said you want to ask me now, but let's take for a second that the two new teams are through.
Yeah.
Thereafter, which teams do you want to take the other? Which teams may or may not is different, but which teams do you want to qualify?
I definitely want Hyderabad because they look like such a solid unit and a lot of bowling options, which is very, very impressive.
Hmm.
And I want Punjab, Arun. I really want Punjab to go through this time because it's been a while. They've changed their captain, they've changed the name of the team. They look like they have some combinations put together. If they can find that momentum for the last part, it will be good to see Mayank Agarwal leading the team into the playoffs purely like because I like him as a batter. So that those are the four I'm looking at.
I'm torn, Akhil. I'm actually torn because I want Hyderabad. I have a soft corner for Hyderabad. So Hyderabad will be one of the two teams. And then I'm torn between Delhi and Punjab. I think Delhi are a good side too. Delhi are a really good side. So yeah, between Delhi and Punjab, I don't know. I mean, two North Indian
We
teams.
shouldn't. Come on, Rajasthan is also a North Indian team, so I would say Rajasthan ahead of Delhi, Arun, because it's been a while since they have also reached the playoff. 3, 4 seasons now, 3 seasons at least. So,
Hmm.
and the way that they have made the combination work this time, they are also looking quite strong. I mean, they are looking title worthy right now. If you look at it, they are looking really strong. The bowling especially.
I mean, how strange is this, Akhil? They've got the purple cap, they've got the orange cap. At one point, they were top of the table. They're still third or fourth in the standing, and yet we're not considering them to qualify. We're saying Delhi, we're saying Punjab, we're saying
Yeah.
Hyderabad. This is how competitive this tournament is, Akhil, and that speaks well of the tournament and the strength of Indian cricket.
Absolutely. And as usual, we love talking cricket. So we'll be back again at Timeout with SportsAdda. So many topics in cricket to talk about as we go ahead to the end of the business end of the tournament, like Arun said. Thank you so much for joining in. We'll be back again and talking about more topics here at Timeout with SportsAdda.